Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm Adam Nicholas from WhatCulture. And coming up, WWE have just dropped a ton of matches that they're putting on the Hell in a Cell card.
AEW are set to launch a brand new show next week.
We have all the latest on the contract details between WWE and Cain Velasquez.
The real reason The Undertaker wasn't on SmackDown this week.
And are we set to see Tyson Fury at Crown Jewel in October?
This is the news. But first, we start off with details on the Mae Young Classic. And if you're getting all excited about it returning later on this year, don't get so excited anymore. It's been cancelled. Yes.
Unbelievable.
Now, you were
What did it do?
Well,
in this modern day era, how did it get cancelled?
when I told you this, you said they've literally just announced it.
They've literally just announced it, yeah.
But Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com has been told that the advertisement for the return of the Mae Young Classic, which was apparently set to take place at the beginning of November, it's going to be it was meant to return to Winter Park in Florida, just 3 days after the Saudi Arabia show, of course, has been cancelled because it was listed by mistake. And in other news, WWE's Evolution pay-per-view will also not be making a return this year.
There you go. That's two very not good bits of news for WWE in my personal
showcases
opinion.
what their priorities are, aren't they? Right, Crown Jewel, Crown Jewel. Mae Young Classic now, none of that bollocks.
Such a bad move, in my opinion, because two really good shows.
Yeah.
Especially the Mae Young Classic, because obviously it's a continued thing that brings people back and gets to showcase a ton of up-and-coming talent. But obviously Evolution was like a massive hit. Yes, it might not have been a massive financial success or whatever. That's not the point of the show. It's not the point of the show. I don't know why they're doing that.
I'm really good about it. I mean, Evolution is one thing because I kind of felt it was probably just a one-off thing from them. We could sort of gauge that at the time.
I guess you could probably argue maybe they want it to be a monumental thing. And like it happened one time, it was a big deal. I still think it should be a recurring thing, personally.
But certainly the Mae Young Classic should be every year.
I don't get why you wouldn't, because they even managed to, I'm sure they had like a year out, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like they did one and then a year out and then another. So I don't know, maybe they're trying to space it out a little bit.
Look at all the talent they've got from it.
Yeah, it's nuts, especially considering how much of an expansion they've started to do as well with all this Fox deal and all the new money they have. Very odd indeed. Well, it looks, I'd like to tell you they're putting all their efforts into other things, but as we know, there wasn't very many matches set for Hell in a Cell today.
Oh, it's four when we got into the office.
We got into the office, and since we have got into the office, 4 more matches have been announced. 3 matches on the main card, 1 on the kickoff show.
Was this book just in the order of people that turned up to the venue?
I have no idea, genuinely.
Thank God you two are here.
Excuse me, sir. We have a hat. Would you like to pick some names out of it, please? Very odd indeed, but we'll just give you a rundown. They've actually not even announced this on WWE's website, as far as I'm aware. We had a quick cursory glance over the Hell in a Cell page. It has not been updated, but on their Twitter account, it has. Breaking news, we have it all going down here. It says the Kabuki Warriors will be challenging Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross for the women's tag team titles.
That's the big shot.
The big shot.
Announced half an hour before the show starts.
All with flame emojis next to them, just in case you weren't already excited for them. Chad Gable will be taking on King Baron Corbin. Gotta love the fact that Corbin's going to be on the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. The Viking Raiders and question mark versus the OC in a match. And on the kickoff show, probably where it belongs, Nat by Nature, who is of course Natalia, will be taking on Lacey Evans on the kickoff show.
Because we haven't seen enough of that
Because
awful
that match
feud.
hasn't been on our tellies enough. And obviously they've been putting out 5-star classics.
Imagine if the Kabuki Warriors win the title tonight after that build.
Well, listen,
Hey,
hang on. Let's pretend there hasn't been any build here. Paige has retweeted it saying she's very excited for her girls getting their big match. WWE, at its finest, at the brink of a war with another company, has put together a pay-per-view in the fashion of their former rivals, WCW. Fantastic.
If only they'd had a show on, I don't know, Friday night, they could have announced some of these
who
matches
knew?
on. Anyway, let's move on and talk about WWE's biggest rivals, AEW. Of course, this week saw the launch of Dynamite to a huge reaction, and AEW followed that up by announcing that they are going to be launching AEW Dark. It was announced by Cody Rhodes on Twitter last night, and as you would expect, is the matches recorded, the dark matches, surrounding their TV show. It is going to be launched on YouTube this Tuesday. It's going to be linked together by Tony Schiavone, and the 4 matches featured on the first episode are tasty. Darby Allin versus Shima, the Lucha Bros and the Hybrid 2 versus Private Party and the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy.
Good.
A lot of love for that match. Britt Baker and Ali versus B. Priestley and Penelope Ford. And SCU versus my best friend Luchasaurus and his little mate Jungle Boy Jurassic Express. Great matches then.
Talking about his dog for a minute, eh? His little mate. Listen, I love the idea of this as a show. I think it's very, because how many times people must do dark matches for, say, WWE or even AEW, and they're never going to get the light of day. Well, this is a perfect way to put those matches to use, and I will guarantee you almost that WWE do exactly the same within a few months, because why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
This is a brilliant idea, and it's a missed opportunity, and they should be doing it to get that content out there.
Also, if you've ever seen any dark matches, they are banter for the large part.
Some of them are banter, but also some of them are just absolute classics that never get the light of day.
I'll bet you Darby Allin in his match against Shima just went, I'm just going to take a really ridiculous bump for no reason.
For no reason.
Didn't even know
Not
it was
even
being
on the
taped.
promise it was going to get taped. Yeah. Brilliant.
But looking forward to that. That sounds fantastic.
Another fantastic idea seems to be, in my opinion, Cain Velasquez to WWE. We all watched SmackDown on Friday. The big pops for people who knew who he was. A lot of confused faces for people who didn't know who he was. And obviously at this point you'd be imagining, well, there must be at least a contract in place, or WWE must be well along the way to signing Cain Velasquez. Well, sort of. They have gone down this angle where they've used essentially Raw and SmackDown to sort of pre-prepare themselves for the SmackDown show with the Brock Lesnar beatdown of Rey Mysterio, and then Cain Velasquez coming out on Friday night as Brock Lesnar. R.I.P. Kofi's run, squashed Kofi in a couple of seconds, and 7 seconds, I believe. 9 seconds, 7 seconds.
Ridiculous.
And obviously Cain Velasquez came out to a thunderous mixed confusion, and...
That Dominic?
Listen, if it was in my house, I popped my little titties off.
Yeah.
But you'd think WWE haven't tied out a contract. Well, as it happens, they don't. Not yet, anyway. They are currently in talks, according to Cain Velasquez's interview with ESPN's Mark Raimondi. He is almost a WWE superstar, but not yet. It says here they are really close on agreeing a deal, and then when asked if there was a possibility he could go somewhere else, he said, probably WWE. Probably WWE, and further reports are that the idea is that Velasquez will face Brock Lesnar at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view on October 31st. What a humongous moment it would be if Velasquez was just like, yeah, nah, I'm just going to go to AEW instead, and they've just completely panic dives into this angle, and then he's like, nah, Tony Khan's been on the phone, he's offered me triple, and he's told me as long as I see your name on live TV, I'll get a bonus too.
Yeah, that would strike fear into me if I was, one of WWE's higher ups. If someone like Cain Velasquez, a mega star, unquestionably, if you're a fan of MMA, and when he says the line, probably WWE, he may as well say, yeah, so long as someone who, I don't know, is a billionaire comes along and offers me more money.
Probably, if I'm Vince McMahon, I'm looking at that interview going, probably.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Probably. Fascinating stuff. I can only hope that something comes of this.
Yes.
Yes, I would be well into a Brock and Velasquez match. I think that's a good idea. I think that could really add a little more, an extra level of realism to the match and to perhaps WWE that we don't normally get. But also, I'd definitely be up for saying, oh, what a difference a day makes. Again.
Speaking of Crown Jewel, before we get to one final match that could well be added to that card, I've got to update you on The Undertaker and, of course, this week's episode of SmackDown, the debut episode of SmackDown on Fox. If you, like me, were wondering, hang on a second, where were all the people that they said they were going to be there? You may have seen that they sort of cheated by having a video package with Stone Cold involved in it. I mean, technically, The Undertaker was there for the signatures to start the show, so... I mean, that technically counts as him turning up. We had all the legends in the crowd, of course. Goldberg, Mark Henry, Kurt Angle, Mick Foley, all the usuals were in the crowd. But if you, like me, were wondering why on earth The Undertaker didn't physically make an appearance on the first ever SmackDown on Fox, he posted a photo on his Instagram with the caption, 20 years of Fox, tonight WWE is on Fox, of course. 20 years of SmackDown, sorry, and tonight on Fox, ahead of the show. And when a fan subsequently asked him, hey man, where the hell were you? The real reason The Undertaker wasn't on SmackDown? I was told I wasn't needed.
Bong.
So not really huge news that, but interesting that they didn't think that they needed him for the big show that did nearly double the amount of viewers that they had the previous week on the USA Network.
Some could argue that it's because they had other people on the show who were supposed to bring a bigger pop, perhaps. One of those people, you might even say, was Mr. Tyson Fury, who happened to be sitting away in the crowd, very notably between the match that was taking place between Braun Strowman and
all of his mates versus Dolph Ziggler and
all
of his mates.
tag match and a bunch of other thrown together tag match buddies. Now, you're probably thinking, what on earth was Tyson Fury doing there? Cool to see him on there, I have to point out. Looking very flash. Snazzy. Looking very interesting. Well, apparently it wasn't all fun out, and we saw the little bit of banter between him and Braun, which I didn't think actually fit on the night. I know they just had to find a way to get there, if that's what they're doing. But the plan, apparently, is for Braun Strowman and Tyson Fury to potentially do a little bit of something, because Tyson Fury is looking to get some of that Saudi oil money, baby. Because he is potentially going to be appearing at WWE's Crown Jewel
pay-per-view. So not at WrestleMania
and not at WrestleMania 36, as some people first believe. Now, I have a quote here from Alex McCarthy of Talk Sport, the up-and-coming best reporter on Twitter, as you can see. Lots of good content from Alex. If you haven't followed him already, get on there. Who says, and I can't believe it, my notes have just wiped out what he said. But let's do it off the top of my head. He said, 2 different sources have told me the plan is for Tyson Fury to appear in Saudi Arabia, not WrestleMania 36. ESPN and Fox has worked together on this, and the goal is to promote Fury versus Wilder. The deal was agreed earlier this week, one source said Monday.
That's amazing.
Interesting. How very interesting is that, considering, I mean, this is a pretty smart move by WWE in terms of getting Velasquez as one thing, getting Tyson Fury another, bringing eyes from various combat sports to their sport, as they probably would want it to be presented, sports entertainment. And I have to be honest, this is something that I feel like ESPN and Fox should be congratulated on, if indeed it does happen, because they know what they're doing. They're both big sports brands, and bringing that across is surely only helpful for everybody.
Oh, to be a fly in the room when someone showed Vince McMahon the pictures of Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar squaring up, and Braun Strowman and Tyson Fury, who are both, I assume, about 6'8". They're mad tall.
Big lads.
The only thing that could put a spanner in this is the fact that I found out that Tyson Fury is going to be given, quote, an open mic on this week's Monday Night Raw to address his problems with Braun Strowman. Now, he is an incredibly charismatic, quite eloquent fighter when he wants to be, aside from just generally calling people dossers.
Yeah.
But also, he's a boxer. You're giving him a live mic on Monday Night Raw. Yeah. Good luck, everyone. Have that censor button ready. That's all I'll say.
I hope the 10-second delay really works to a treat this time, because Jesus Christ, that could be disastrous.
Good luck, everyone. Right, let us know your thoughts on all of today's news stories in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. Plus, you can send us Twitter questions. We'll be responding to all your Twitter questions following Hell in a Cell on tomorrow's news. I won't be here, so it's not my problem. At WhatCulture WWE, if you want to get in touch, you want to follow him on Twitter at...
It's Adam Nicholas. You can follow me there, and you can follow this man on Twitter at...
Adam Wilborn. Make sure you join me and him in the next few minutes for our Hell in a Cell live stream. We're also going to be doing What Went Down, and as I said, be doing the news immediately following Hell in a Cell, which has doubled its size during this news report.
Incredible scenes.
Ridiculous.
Incredible scenes.
Right.
Vince McMahon, what are you doing there?
Right, thanks, Adam Nicholas. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.